place where this girl was. And yeah, I've just been reflecting on the sacred relations thing. And I recognize that when I sit and I meditate and I'm alone, I'm there. I'm in that place of being. I'm in that place of presence of God. But then I notice that when other beings come in, these characters form inside of me, and then they play out through my relations. And before, I was really caught in playing out the character, like, oh my god, I'm the character, and here's the character that person's playing. But I was so in the role of this person made me feel this way, good or bad, whatever it is. So this character is forming around how the other being is making me feel. And based upon my conditioning and programming, that's how that character is formed. And same with the other. Anyway, so we form these characters, I'm observing, and then we play them out with each other. And we think, this is you and this is me, and I love this about you, and I think you shouldn't be this way, but I'm not going to tell you that I think you shouldn't be this way. Anyway, we do all of these dances within ourselves, and most of it's unconscious, but we're actually not the character. And that's the biggest thing I have been sitting with, is realizing I'm not the person who, for example, I'm just going to speak in this terminology, is loving you. I am what is love behind it. And the character of me loving you, for example, is a role. I'm loving you. It's a role that's come into form through the meeting of our beings. But you're actually in the being behind loving you, and I'm in the being behind loving you. So that's like really what I'm observing in my own life, is how I thought all of these people in my life were the characters, and I had all of these reservations about them, and I was holding all of this energy inside of the stories of the roles that we played. But once the role is played, it's done, it's over, it's gone, and it doesn't exist anymore. But I realized I was keeping it alive inside of me, and I was holding people hostage to the roles that played through them, the karma we came together to work out, the dance we came together to dance. I was holding that dance, and maybe they stepped on my toe during the dance, and this is all just metaphorical. And I'm holding, oh, they stepped on my toe, they did that on purpose, or they're a lousy dancer, or whatever it is, that the stories within me that I held onto and identified with based on the connections and the relations that I, the being, created for myself to awaken. So yeah, I'm just really aware that I am not the character that speaks to people and tells them stories of this is who I am, and oh yeah, this is where I'm going, and these things happen to me, and I'm this and I'm that. None of that's actually real. It's a play, it's a dance, it's a Maya. And that's what I'm really deeply integrating right now through my relations. And I'm noticing how strong and rigid I have been in holding myself and others to the roles they are playing. And what I'm actually doing now is releasing myself from that. It's still happening. The roles are still being played. The characters are still being formed in this vessel and being played out through me. But I realize it's not about stopping the character. It's not about stopping the drama, the dance, the Maya, whatever. It's not about stopping it. It's there as our vehicle of ascension, right? And it's just about learning how to use it, which is what I'm really sitting with within my own experience right now. Is I meditate, I get into that state, I feel my inner being, I feel that deep beingness. It's all there. It's all there. Everything is there. But then when I come into these relations, I would unconsciously go into the roles, and as quick as me getting up from the altar and walking out of the room and saying hello to a person, poof, I'm into the character, I'm into the role. But I was so unconscious of this transitioning of beingness, of oneness, into separateness, into the role, into the character, into the game, the dance of life. So more and more that I retract myself into that state of oneness, into that state of beingness, the more I am becoming aware that I'm doing a dance when I'm not in my meditative state. So when I'm not in that state of feeling, of being in the oneness, not even just feeling it, being in the oneness, to then leaving the altar. We never really leave the altar, but this body getting up from the altar and then going out into the day and creating all these stories with all these people and playing out these dances and these roles. I am becoming more conscious in it. I am becoming, first I've been becoming aware I am not this character. I'm not this person that is talking to this other person. And I started to notice that when I met these all these people in my life, I had different stories with them of who I was based upon who they thought they were. And then I would come together, and based upon who they thought they were and who I thought I was, we would form this dance. And we would do this dance so well, but I was so lost in it because I was really good at forming that character and thinking I was in it. But more and more I'm coming out of the character that's being played, and I'm observing it from this outside place of oneness, recognizing I'm not what's being played, I'm not what's being spoken, I'm not the emotions, the love that's being felt. All of that is just it's life, it's the body, it's the emotion, it's the mind, it's the chemicals rising up and down, and the cellular communication. All of this is happening, but I'm not it. And that's the craziest part I'm realizing, is I'm not it. When I get that trigger in my body, when I feel this reaction, I'm not the reaction. I'm what's aware of the reaction. I'm what's aware of the trigger. And the trigger isn't because of the other person, and the trigger isn't because of me. It's the agreement that both of our beings chose to come together to bring this up for the collective, to purify it and to release it, and to release it from our fractal lineage. So more and more I'm recognizing the sacred work that is our relations. As my friend was sharing, her biggest growth comes from relations to others. And I'm reflecting on this, I'm like, yeah, like all my growth comes from, obviously we grow in all areas, but like my deepest work comes from relations. And more my work just becomes what's right in front of me, what's right there, the roles I'm playing moment by moment, just being with that and becoming more conscious in my day-to-day life, realizing I'm not the character, I'm not this personality, I'm not this body, I'm not what's laughing, I'm not what's crying, I'm not what's loving you. That is all being experienced through this being. It's all chemical, it's all nature. It's nature communicating with each other and responding to each other. It's the genetic evolution of creation. But I'm not it. I'm the being here holding space for it. And it's this whole new level of realizing I'm what's behind it, holding it as it unfolds, it unravels, and blooms into something new. And that I in fact came here to hold space for the specific fractal lineage, for this specific ancestral lineage and genetic coding and genetic trauma, to hold space for that as I navigate and follow the alignment through the field of these sacred relations, these people that we have soul agreements with before we came here, that we would do these dance, that we would clear this together. Whether they're a quote-unquote bad guy in your reality or not, you are clearing something with them. And what I'm realizing is I'm moving to a place beyond being in the role and being like, okay, this person showed up as this person came into my life and they played this role of hating and stealing and cheating and whatever, the most unthinkable, horrible things that someone could do to you. And then we label them as they are a bad guy. Okay, they're the villain, they're the bad guy, and then we create and we hold on to all these stories as to why they're bad and why we have to hold on to this energy, that all of these stories and all of this labeling and conditioning to them. But I move behind that and I see that the being behind the character, and I can say, thank you, I love you, you are me. And I can look at myself and say, thank you, I love you, you are me. I am so grateful to be a co-creator of this transmutation, of this alchemy, of this divine work. I am so grateful that you have showed up to assist me in purifying my karma. And I am so grateful to show up and assist you in purifying yours. It's a co-creation. So every single being that you have ever met, you are co-creating the purification of your fractal lineage, of your own being. You came in to this form and you took on a very specific imprinting, coding, and conditioning. And that's your work to purify it. And it's what we came here for. And we each have our own things we came to purify. We each are holding different aspects of the fractal lineages, both on Earth and beyond. And it's all part of this greater, grander, cosmic unraveling of creation. So more and more, I get to be easeful. I get to be more compassionate to myself and to all beings, recognizing there is no wrong or right. There is no good or bad. There just is the unfolding of this now moment of divine perfection, and it is perfect as it is. We don't have to change it, and we don't reject the dance, we don't reject life, we don't reject the other person, the other being, because we are rejecting ourselves if we are doing that. We don't label them as bad because it's just us. It's just me creating with me. So for me to hate, judge, or make another wrong is to do unto the self. And to miss the point completely. That it is a co-creation, that it is sacred, and that all of our relations should be held with the same love, respect, and integrity, no matter what the being is playing in your life, no matter what the role is. It is sacred. It is divine. It is God manifesting, working with you directly. So we learn to give thanks for that. We learn to celebrate that, and we learn to honor ourselves and others in the roles we're playing, and play the roles with more awareness. So we don't get lost in you are this and I am this, and that whole dance of duality and separation and labeling and judging and analyzing and constantly just analyzing life and the people around you. When we can release all of that, there's so much energy and there's so much room and clarity for the divine intelligence of your internal source to be in the center focus of your perception. Because all of that, if you're holding on to a story of a parent being a bad parent, you don't just, when you're not thinking about it, it's not there. That story is there. Energy is constantly 24/7, whether you're waking or sleeping, is going to holding on to that belief system, to that story. And also the parent is also always feeling them being a bad parent. So you're not doing yourself good, because you're draining your own life force, and you're putting your own energy, your own perception onto a reality of separation and duality and of right and wrong, instead of focusing and bringing your consciousness and your awareness to your own internal source. So when we come clean, when we really look at ourselves and we start becoming more conscious moment by moment, day by day, through our relations, and anywhere you run in throughout your day, you're holding on to stories against people, just release it. And then call that energy back into your own internal source. And more you release yourself from the lower dimensional worlds of separation and duality, and you are bringing your attention and your focus back to that place within yourself of wholeness, back into your own internal source, where you can see, I am not the role, and they're not the role, and that's me, and this is me, and it's just the divine, and it's sacred work, and I can just focus on my being in ease as I honor what is releasing through this body and through their body. I not wasted because it brought me here. I put a lot of energy and attention onto analyzing every single person in my life, constantly not being sure about them, because inconsistency of not being the same character or role, or like wondering if it's aligned or not, or good or bad, or light or dark, or all of this. My mind is constantly going, trying to analyze my relations. But I realize I don't have to do that. And with that, I'm feeling such a deep clearing, such a deep deep energizing of my being, when I release myself from needing to hold stories against people, or needing to know why people are playing the roles, or why I'm playing, needing to know. Just releasing myself into the now, and just becoming the observer of it all, and not needing to do anything, not needing to make it right or wrong, not needing to have justice or any of that, or not even needing to be seen in my relations, just allowing it all to be as it is. And when I allow it all to be as it is, I can actually receive what it is. Because as long as I'm trying to change what it is, I'm missing the point, and I'm not moving through it. It's like this through the sacred relation, this being comes into your life, and they're actually a portal into an alternate level of consciousness. But the only way to get there is to allow it to be what it is, to receive what it is, and to allow it to move through you and shift inside of you what needs to be shifted for you to perceive the next field you're meant to perceive, and the next level of beingness you're meant to be with. So we're just actually meant to be with our life. We're not meant to do anything. We're not meant to fix it. We're not meant to change it. We don't need to be seen. We don't need to work out our relationships in the way that we have been programmed or taught to. It's actually just presence, of being aware of it, and we can share in the awareness with these connections, which actually creates this deep foundation for spiritual development, spiritual healing and growth, when we can find these people in our lives who are willing to become conscious with us, who are willing to communicate the experience of what is being experienced. So like, yeah, I'm experiencing this trigger. I'm aware that this trigger is being released through my being, through the presence of your being. And just my human self, this character, is feeling anger towards you right now. But I'm still seeing you on the other side through the eyes of love. I still see you, the being there, from the being here. And just creating more awareness in our relationships with other people. And yeah, that's just like my greatest work right now is relationships. And I ran from relationships my whole life because I didn't have the awareness to navigate the field, because I thought I was the triggers. I thought they were the triggers. I thought when I was angry at them, I thought when my being was experiencing anger, fire, when the presence of the other being invoked the fire of purification within my own being, and I attached a story of anger to it and was like, oh, I'm angry at this person is making me angry, I couldn't see them through that. I couldn't see the being on the other side of that, because I thought I was mad at you. It's not until I become aware that I am the being and this body is experiencing a chemical reaction, a spiritual reaction to the other being, which is actually the purification of my own being. And it is being experienced as intense heat in the body. But I'm not mad at you. I am loving. I am just loving awareness. I am here aware of heat moving through my body. And it's that level of presence that we get to bring into our own life and into other people's lives. And we get to really, more and more when we get to embody this, we get to call in and work with people who are willing to work with us in that way. And it can be super powerful, and it can be super transformative and accelerated. It can accelerate our growth so fast when we can find people around us who are ready to also really become conscious through relationship. Yeah, that's my share. Beautiful. I'm so grateful for my relationships. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful for all the beings who have crossed my path and who are on my path now. And every day I learn to honor them more and more. And I know I am there, and I know I am on my way, just as much as I am here, because I know I can't not be here. I know the presence of my being is here, but I'm also on my way because I'm not fully aware. And every moment I become more aware, I am closer. I am closer, while also simultaneously being here. But yeah, much love, much respect. May we become conscious a little more each day as we journey. Much love.